Okay, so here it is, the Type 26 HD 1080 keychain cam. As this one is as supplied by eBay seller Power Digital 898. Case is slightly fatter for a start, so different case design. That's to accommodate a bigger battery, 500 milliamp battery. The case comes apart with 3 screws as opposed to the old case which had 2 screws at the bottom on the normal HD key cam. It's got 3 function buttons: power on, shutter and mode change button. Now the instruction leaflet's not too bad, it does tell you how to change mode. It will do 1080 at 30 frames a second, 720 at 60 frames a second and 720 at 30 frames a second. And the LED light here changes from red to green to orange to tell you which mode it's in. My tests actually, running continuously, I had about 35 minutes at 1080, 30 frames a second, and at 720, 30 frames a second, about an hour and a quarter, which isn't bad at all. 3 function buttons on this. Now by default, when you power up with this button, it immediately starts recording in 1080. That's the shutter button. Press the shutter button, it stops recording. This is the mode button. This switches it between 1080 at 30 frames a second, 720 at 60 frames a second and 720 at 30 frames a second. My test clips have been very good. I just shot some 720 at 60 frames a second, and unlike some cameras, it wasn't just 30 frames duplicated to make 60 frames. It was actually 60 separate frames. One observation I've noticed from shooting, when you shoot at 720, you're actually getting a smaller field of view than you do at 1080. I'd say that's because what they're doing to get 720 resolution is just using part of the CMOS. But the quality has been very good. There's a slight bluish tint to the results I've had, but it wouldn't be too difficult to take that out in an editing suite anyway. Yes, one last thing, and probably not the last thing either. As usual, it takes a micro card up to 32 gig, they say. This little plug here I thought was some kind of micro USB, but according to Chuck Law, it's a special socket that's used in some types of camera. I'll put on the subtitle just which particular cable it is, but it's not quite as common as the old HD cams which used mini USBs and micro USBs and, well, I think mini USB actually, yeah. So what else to say? Bit heavier. I took one apart to see what was inside, and amongst other things there's a heatsink, and I say it's got a larger battery, so a little bit heavier than the old HD keychain cam. Well, there are 3 separate leads that come with it, and it will do AV out, and it has webcam use, and this is apparently the first of the keychain cams that will do webcam mode with audio as well as video. All the other keychain cams, as far as I know, give you video only, which is not a lot of use if you want to use it as a webcam, but this will be more useful, obviously. Okay, let's take a look at some of the accessories that are going to be available for this new Type 26 HD 1080 keychain cam. There's a very nicely made handlebar mount with a ball and socket on the top, a helmet mount with a Velcro strap, and the way this bracket's been designed, this can be moved this way, so you could no doubt mount it on the side of the helmet like that, or you could mount it on the top of the helmet like this. Bit of design thought has gone into that. I also noticed that another little nice touch is the fact that if you're using the old type of keychain cam, this mount actually has an insert that slides in, so that it will not only take the slightly fatter bodied 1080 version, but it will take the slimmer Type 16 version. Pretty good, I'd say. A sticky mount, another little sticky mount, Note they've all got these little 1/4 inch mounts on so that they'll fit into this little mount that takes the camera. What else? Oh, they also sent me one of these little USB microcard readers. I must say it was a bit tight in my USB slot. 12-volt USB adapter. Oh, and of course, did I mention this beautiful little waterproof case, which also comes with spare gaskets. A few more sticky pads. Sticky pad. Oh, not that cable. Bunch of AV leads. I'm not quite sure what some of these leads do because there's one USB cable here with twin cores, and the charging cable just has a single core. And as I mentioned, they're using this kind of micro plug as opposed to the mini USB. Okay, here are those clips. This is 1080, 30 frames a second. Well, I actually said there was a bluish tinge to some of the video I shot. In fact, I think the colours look very natural in this, and the image is sharp right to the edge of the frame. I don't see any rolling shutter. You can see here that the field of view at 720 is a lot less than at 1080, but still very sharp image. Colours look very natural. This is 720, 30 frames a second, or at least it should be. Okay, so coming up next are a couple of stills showing the difference in field of view between 1080 resolution and 720. Okay then, well, to summarise, all in all, pretty decent camera, nice colours, nice sharp image from edge to edge, rather narrow field of vision at 720, and I think the manual leaves a lot to be desired, but apparently they're working on a better manual. Nice range of accessories too, and pretty good in low light, so I think probably works okay as a in-car recorder, although I didn't actually get a chance to test that.